as possible. The first person's my partner in crime, Mr. Doyle Thornton. He really is supportive of everything that we do across the whole band program, but especially the percussion. So thank you, Mr. Doyle. The other people I'd like to call your attention to are my fabulous staff. Down here is Mr. Kevin Infinger. He can stand up and make himself seen. I think up there is Mr. Brian Barley. There in the middle. The show was actually written, most of it original music by Mr. Zach Moe, 2008 graduate of Montana High School. And a really special person I'd like to introduce is my co-director, 2011 graduate of Bob Jones High School, Mr. Jonathan Beavers. And he's going to tell you a little bit about the show. Came from right there.
Hey, there's also one more staff member that she forgot to mention. Lamar Coleman. He's not here, but he lives in Tuscaloosa and makes a drive here every Tuesday night to work with these guys. And I think that just alone says how important this group is to all of us. We all are really willing to make sacrifices for this group, and there's a bunch of awesome kids to work for. So the show, I've been always, ever since I was in high school, thinking of creating a show, and got down to coming indoor season, and I was like, what can we do? What would be a cool show? And then I was starting to think dark, because dark shows are always really fun shows to perform. So I was thinking, what's dark? The shadows dark. Let's do a show about shadows. Let's have dancers. That's gonna be awesome. So really, we've done shows that have like a meaning, and this year we wanted to go with more like an effect show. So at the beginning, you notice right now, you can't really see the dancers. That's the goal anyway. They're hidden behind people. And this whole intro part is about how the dancers blend in, how shadows, they blend in with you. Sometimes you can't see them, but they're still there no matter what. And then spread into a huge diamond, and they're in the middle. That's the introduction. Next part, if you notice the battery, they're looking around. They're doing this, they're doing this. Sorry, I got away from the mic. Got this little thing going on. The dancers kind of pop out behind the buildings. We're looking. We know something's there. We haven't quite found it yet, but we're looking for it. And then at the end of that, some more of that stuff. Some more looking. They pop out, pop back in. Then the next section is about how a shadow, it mimics your every move. When you're walking around, there's light. Right now, your shadow, it does everything that you do. And so, with the bass drums, eventually, with scheduling conflicts and all this stuff, we just haven't gotten to this part of the show, but the shadows will eventually come out and do what the bass drums are doing during their solo, all the body movements. Eventually, they will all be out there and doing different gestures and stuff. And then the big, long section at the end where they're in a kind of triangle form to go down, they'll be doing all the same thing that all the battery's doing. And then the next part is when Alex comes from behind the building. That's about how you can live in somebody's shadow. So Aaron at the beginning, he gets pushed away. He's kind of like the not so cool kid in school. And Alex is Mr. Popular. He just scored the game-winning goal in basketball. Just got out of the locker room, showered, put his jacket on, he's coming out. All the kids are happy to see him, so he goes out there, walks down, high fives, and then Aaron's like, good job. He's like, I don't want to talk to you. And so he's outside of the circle the whole time. Well, Aaron is tired of living in the shadow, and so he kills him. So you just take him. And so there's that, and then the next part, you hear the vocal about how shadows also grief. You can live in grief, and so that whole next part is just about grieving over the death. And that brings us to how you can face your shadow. And one of the shadows comes around at the beginning and gets caught by the bass drum. The shadow still thinks she's in charge because it's dark and scary. And then the people of the city are tired of it. They're now going to face their shadow and be above them. So that whole time, the shadow's trying to escape. She's now on her heels, and then at the very end, she runs them down behind the buildings, and the battery thinks they're gone, so they come back out, and shadows are not gone, and they overcome them, and then end up killing Aaron in the end because shadows come back and haunt you. That's pretty much the show. A lot of the stuff is not completely filled in. This year has definitely been a huge learning experience for myself and all the staff. I can definitely count multiple times where I've been over at Zach's house really late at night trying to figure this stuff out, and it's a process. It is a very long process, but like I said before, they're definitely awesome kids to work for, and they inspire me to do what I do. I leave every weekend and go drum myself, and definitely an inspiring group of kids. So, without further ado, let's do this again. Take the floor.
Have you ever felt like you're being followed? Like someone is watching your every move? But when you turn around, nothing. Something's wrong. They're moving. They are shadows.
Thank you all very much for coming. Have a safe night.